Fall day here in Wisconsin, but I love it. I've got my sweater on today. I'm kind of transitioning into the weather, so it's all good. So good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. It's so good to see all of you here. We're just going to give it just a couple seconds for everybody to join in the fun with me today. So if you are joining me, make sure that you say hello. Hi, Francis. Good morning. Just trying to get on track. Hi, Chris. You made it. So excited that you are here. Oh my goodness. You guys, I am really excited to talk about today's new product because for those of you that don't know me, I have been in the beauty industry for 29 years. Almost 30, and mainly as a cosmetologist, which means that I am also a hairstylist as well. So I get to talk about some fun hair product, a fun hair product that was just released, gosh, just a couple weeks ago. And anytime we launch a new product, I love to do a little bit of research on the ingredients and things like that. And so I'm really excited to share with you guys some of my findings. So the first thing that I would like to ask you guys is, have you tried the new Fixx conditioning hair mask? Let me know in the comments if you've had a chance to try it. I know it's absolutely brand new, so some of you may not have gotten it in yet. But I would love to hear from you who has tried it. Not yet, but soon. That's a good answer. That's a really good answer. So let's start with, what is this? Now, I have to say, I want to show you how much you get. This is a really nice size container. It is in a tub container. So, you're going to get a good amount. It's going to last you kind of a long time. And the price point is really great for it. So here is what you need to know as far as, like, for those of you that are like, okay, what is it? What is it going to do? Transform your hair in minutes with our deeply nourishing and conditioning hair mask. It's infused with keratin protein, which we'll talk about. Our hair mask adds strength and shine to dry, difficult to manage hair. Anybody else have hair like that? Difficult to manage hair, making it soft, smooth, and manageable. Now, who doesn't want that? Who does not want that? Say goodbye to common hair problems like flyaways, frizz, and tangles with this powerful mask. Regular use will leave your hair looking shiny, healthy, and revitalized. So we already have a question. What does a hair mask do? Now, there's deep conditioners, there's hair masks, and sometimes they can kind of be similar in as far as texture and what they do and things like that. So if you've never used a hair mask before, think of it as a treatment, like a very deep treatment that you're only going to use not every time you shampoo. Now, that's really going to depend on your hair type, and we'll get into that a little bit too. So who would be a great candidate for this product? Well, if you have any of those issues, I live in Wisconsin. We're going into our fall time, which means after that is going to be winter time. It tends to get very dry because we have the heat going. And so our hair might get a little bit drier in the winter. So it's great for that, but it's also great because I'm going to dig into some of these ingredients with you guys. It's great for also in the summer when we're exposed to the sun and, some of the elements outside in the summer as well. So what are the benefits of this product? It deeply conditions and nourishes hair. It dramatically improves gloss and luster for your shiniest hair ever. And I will tell you, if you haven't used it yet, if you use it for the first time, you are going to just feel how silky your hair is after you use it. And I'll go into how you use it as well. Angelica says it's great for anyone with hair. Absolutely. Because even if you think about what I said, with tangles and things like that. So if any of you have little girls in the house that get tangled hair, great for that. Anybody with textured hair, anyone with long hair, dry hair, frizzy hair, though they're all a candidate for this product. It also has advanced tame and frizz control. which my hair is very naturally kind of like wavy and coarse and just naturally frizzy. That's just what I inherited. So for me, this product, I'm super excited about. And this is an upgrade from a product that we actually had, that we upgraded it to this product now. So if you used to use the Fixx hair mask, this is the replacement for it. But once I dig into the ingredients, you're going to be like, oh yeah, it's got a little bit more like pizzazz to it. It's got just a little bit more ingredients for all those things that we want. Yes, Christine, you are going to love it. I absolutely know you will. Now, it does help with the detangling and eases combing for effortless styling. It's infused with hydrolyzed keratin, protein, and mineral oils. Now, keratin protein, you've probably heard it's been an ingredient and a buzzword that's been talked about probably more so over the last 10 years. And I'm going to answer some of your questions about keratin and why it's important to have in this product and what it's going to do for your hair by being in this product. It also is easy to use and you can add to any hair care regimen, whether it's a weekly treatment or a daily conditioner. Now I'm going to touch on that real quick. Now it's really going to depend on your hair type and what results you're trying to achieve. So my locks are very long, just like Christine said. My hair goes, it's almost, I actually did it straight yesterday and it almost goes down to my waist. So my hair is probably going to be a little bit drier on the ends than your average person that has a little bit shorter hair. My hair type is also coarse. It's very frizzy. So I actually use this conditioner every time I shampoo my hair. Now, I don't shampoo my hair every day. I only shampoo my hair usually twice a week. So that works good for me. Now, if you have shorter, finer hair, I would just recommend using this hair mask anytime you feel like you just need a little bit more moisture to the hair. You need a little bit more shine to the hair. You just need a little bit more kind of pick me up on the hair. It would be great for you to use just kind of periodically. Think of it kind of like a face mask. We might not use a face mask every day. We might just need it when we need those, or use it when we need those nourishing ingredients. Now, it is great for all hair types. So I don't want you to think it's just for certain hair types. It really is great for all hair types. And I do want to show you that it has a violet color to it. Now, the violet color, I wish I had smell-o-vision because it smells absolutely amazing. It's not a very powerful smell because I don't like very overwhelming smells. I kind of get sensitive to scents, but this is kind of a just very light, clean, sort of a little bit of floral, but not, yes, a fresh smell. Thank you, Angelica. A fresh smell. And it does have that purple color. Now, the purple color, what it's going to do on lighter hair tones is it's going to make it look a little bit brighter and give it more vibrancy. So if you have blonde hair, it's going to give it just a little bit more of a glossy look, more vibrant look, more shiny look. It's not going to discolor your hair or do anything like that. And it is a lightweight formula. So usually hair masks kind of get a bad rap because they can be a little bit heavy on the hair. So for those that like volume, sometimes they stay away from hair masks because they don't want it to weigh their hair down. And, we've come a long way with ingredients in the hair world where there are ingredients now where you can get that moisturization, you can get that shine without getting that heavy sort of weighted down feeling on the hair. And this is definitely one of those products. It's paraben-free, gluten-free, it's vegan, it's sulfate-free, and it's cruelty-free. So I know that we get that question a lot with our products. So right there, we'll get that out of the way. And that is all good to know as well. So how long do we leave the hair mask in? So why don't we go over some of the ingredients first? Are you guys good for that? And then I will tell you a little bit more how to use it. Because if you're an ingredient junkie like me, I want to know why is that ingredient in there and what does that ingredient do? So I do want to start with, why don't we start with the hydrolyzed keratin? Because I know there's always a lot of questions when it comes to keratin. And, what it does and why you want to use it and all of those things. So, what is keratin? Well, it's a protein that's actually naturally found in your hair, and it's responsible for your hair's health. Okay, so while keratin makes your hair strong, it's also prone to damage due to environmental aggressors. Now, it's also it can be damaged by heat, whether it's, your curling iron, your flat iron, your blow dryer. And, when we think about environmental aggressors, we think of like being out in the sun, things always like that as well. Now, hydrolyzed keratin is a large protein molecule that is broken down after a chemical process in a manner such that it can actually penetrate into the hair cuticle. So your hair shaft actually has a cuticle, and think of it almost like a pine tree, how the branches sort of come down like that. And so we want our ingredients to get underneath that, so that they can go into the hair shaft and actually do what we want it to do. Because if it just sits on top of the cuticle of the hair, it's really not going to really do much, right? So hydrolyzed keratin is sourced from a larger keratin molecule. It's actually broken down by splitting its bond with the addition of hydrogen and water with hydroxide. And at the end of the chemical process, the keratin is reduced into that smaller fragments that the hair can absorb, and because it's that lower molecular weight. So not all keratin is created equal, because hydrolyzed means that it can actually absorb into the hair. Okay. So the broken down particles, what they do is they deposit themselves on the hair shaft. Okay. So due to that low molecular weight and the small size, it almost like just goes beyond the cuticle, penetrates the hair shaft, fills in all of that, where the damage is, and makes it smoother, makes it less damaged, makes it healthier looking. Okay. So it fills in all those gaps, and including all three layers of the hair, which is the medulla, cortex, and cuticle. It's almost like pouring something into those cracks and making it smoother. Okay. So I like always kind of using analogies like, if we've got a bunch of holes at a driveway or something, we want to patch that in with something. It's going to be the same thing. And when that protein fills the microscopic gaps, the hair gets also strengthened, right? So we have better strengthening of the hair so it can withstand all of the abuse that we give it, right? And it minimizes damage from chemical treatments, heat styling, mechanical manipulation, and the sun, as well as flat irons, curling irons, blow dryers, all of those things as well. So sometimes people think, well, I don't use hot tools, I just use a blow dryer. Blow dryers get very hot on the hair. So it's important to, use some kind of product that's going to protect your hair from the heat. And this is really your first step to doing that. Now, in 2 weeks, we're going to talk about another new product that we have that you also have to add into your regimen as well. I won't get into that today, but it complements this product absolutely amazing. So some other key ingredients that are in here: hydrolyzed cornstarch, which is a humectant, which also moisturizes the hair. It also has hydrolyzed collagen in it as well. So collagen is another kind of buzzword that we hear. Collagen is not only great for your skin and your joints and your body as a whole, but it's also really great for your hair as well. So what hydrolyzed collagen does is it enhances the appearance and feel of hair by increasing hair body, suppleness, and sheen. It may also improve the texture of the hair that has been damaged physically or by excessive heat treatments. And it's generally absorbed on the hair, increasing tensile strength and elongation too. So think of like split ends, anyone with dry, brittle ends like that. This would definitely be the first thing that I would grab for them. Absolutely. In addition, we've got lanolin, which this is an ingredient that I've seen popping up a little bit more, and it's actually a natural substance. It's present in most plants, including basil, coriander, and lavender. And it's actually frequently used in the cosmetics or personal care kind of formulations because it does have a wonderful scent to it. So I'm thinking that might be where a little bit of that scent is coming in from. But the other thing that it does is it's a natural element for encouraging healthy and strong hair, but it also has a number of potential advantages for the health of your hair. It fortifies hair follicles to prevent hair breakage, and it also helps increase blood flow to the scalp, which is always a good thing, especially when you're getting a little bit older like me. We definitely want good blood flow all over the body, because good blood flow to the scalp means that you're going to have a healthier hair follicle. Yeah, Angelica, it's not an overwhelming scent at all. It's just enough. I feel like it's just enough in there. So aside from stimulating hair follicles and, encouraging a healthy environment for the hair follicle, it also has positive effects on the hair by controlling sebum production. So if any of you kind of have like a little bit of an oily scalp, this would be great for you as well, because it does have that ingredient in there for that. Now it has all sorts of other ingredients in as well. And, when I went through all of these, it does have an anti-static agent ingredient. It does have an ingredient that reduces static and frizzing. So does anyone else get static hair when it's in the winter and you're like, the air is so dry and you're outside and, I hate that when we get that staticky hair. So it does have ingredients in for that as well. So I love that. So just know that it has beyond that like hydrolyzed keratin, because sometimes there's products where it's like, that's just their main ingredient. And, we've got a little bit more in there than that. So I know some of you are asking, okay, how do I use it? All right. So what I recommend you do is, first thing you want to do when you get in the shower is wash your hair real good. Now you want to make sure you kind of wring all the excess water out of the hair. Your hair is like a sponge, right? So if there's a lot of water in your hair, it can't absorb all of those ingredients. It can't absorb, all of those things I just talked about as well. So our goal is to wring out the hair as best we can. Now you're going to want to work a small amount of the conditioner from the ends up, okay? We need more of it down here. We don't need as much on the scalp, and we don't want to leave too much on the scalp because it could weigh it down if you put too much on, okay? So it would take a lot, but it could happen. So you want to just work it in. And then what I do, because I have long hair, is I literally I have a clip in my shower, I clip it up here, and you want to leave it in for about 2 to 5 minutes. Now, if you have thicker hair, what you can also do is just take your fingers while the conditioner's in and just, comb it through to make sure that it's getting as much of the hair that you can, because we want to make sure that it's covered so it can do its job. 2 to 5 minutes. I probably leave it in close to 10 minutes. It's not going to hurt anything if you leave it in a little bit longer. It just gives it a little more time to work. Now, here's the most important thing. When you're ready to rinse it out, do not rinse in really hot water, okay? You want to use warm or kind of on the cooler side of water, because what that's going to do is it's going to help kind of seal your cuticle back down and seal all of those ingredients in the hair. Okay. So I know we probably all like to take those really hot showers, but they're not always good. Especially when it comes to your hair and skin, because it can also dry out your skin. Okay. So try to get in the habit of, at least at the end, kind of rinsing with a cooler kind of water. And you'll notice that it does kind of leave a nice kind of silky look to the hair. Now, here's some frequently asked questions. People have asked, like, can I leave it overnight? No, I would not leave it in your hair overnight. It really, after 10 minutes, I don't think it's really going to do anything. Now, there's also questions about, like, is it possible to use too much keratin? Because keratin is considered a protein and your hair can really only take so much protein. So obviously salon keratin treatments are very different than this having keratin in the conditioner. So salon keratin treatments are infusing keratin into the hair using like a very high amount of heat. So this is very different, but definitely talk to your stylist. Now, if you feel like it's maybe not like conditioning your hair like it was when you first started using it, maybe just back off of it a little bit, but it would really take a lot of using this to have that happen. I mean, I really can't see that happening. And if you do get keratin treatments with your stylist, I always recommend talking to your stylist, seeing if this is okay to use, you know, because they're always the best to know like what they're doing to their hair, what, you know, what they're using on your hair and what would benefit your hair the best. Can men use this mask? Absolutely, men can use this mask. You know, I think that they would really love it. It's going to make their hair silky and smooth. Who doesn't want that, right? So the next question is, can I use the Fixx conditioning hair mask if I have fine, oily hair? Absolutely. Fixx conditioning hair mask is a wonderful conditioning treatment for all hair types. Depending on preference for fine and oily hair, we recommend focusing application on the ends and avoid the root or the scalp. So we don't really need it in that area too much. If a little bit gets on there, that's fine. But we need the majority where it's a little drier, a little frizzier. Can I use on curly hair? Absolutely. It deeply conditions, hydrates, and adds shine to the hair. It also helps reduce frizz, flyaways, making it a great option for curly hair. So absolutely. In fact, I think that your curly hair friends are going to love you if you recommend this product. Is it safe for color treated hair? Absolutely. It can be used on dry, damaged, or chemically treated hair. And that violet color that I showed you helps liven the color and add vibrancy to the hair. So absolutely good product to use for that. And what does it smell like? It has that light and airy floral smell-o-vision, right? Oh, I absolutely love this scent. It's very clean smelling. And is it tested on animals? Absolutely not. So we are good to go there. So I hope that that helped kind of answer some of your questions. Does anybody have any other questions before I leave? Let me just see. I'm going to actually put in the link where you can purchase this mask as well. So make sure that you guys have it. Absolutely. And, you know, I hate to say it, but like the holidays are right around the corner. So think of people in your life that maybe need to try this as well. So it can make the shower slippery. So be careful. That is always a good thing to do. Absolutely. So let me just I'm going to put this comment in there so you guys have it. I've got some more. Let's see, I've got some more questions here. So I would just want to make sure that I get all of them. Okay. Does it make your hair too flat if you have thin hair? Again, you don't need a lot too. I feel like a little bit goes a long way. So just kind of like, you'll find out what's good for your hair. But like I said, you may not want to use it quite as often. Maybe just use it depending on how often you shampoo your hair, maybe every 5th shampoo or so, and just kind of like, you know, your hair, you'll know if it's like you're using too much or if it's weighing things down. Any other questions? Oh, Eileen really loves this Fixx mask. So I'm super happy that you have tried it. So for those of you, again, this is Fixx conditioning hair mask. This is the mask I was talking about with all those wonderful hair nourishing ingredients. Does this replace a regular conditioner? On the day that you use it, yes, you would only use this. You could use your other conditioner on the days that you don't use this because this is going to be like a deeper conditioner. So yeah, definitely. So you could skip it on the day you use this. You are so welcome, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and join back with us next week. We're going to be talking about another new wonderful product. It happens to be for your lashes. So if you love luscious lashes. You definitely want to tune in. And then in 2 weeks, I'll be back here with another hair product. So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of your week. Take care.